What is up, everyone? Malthus here, and we're going to do a quick shotgun review of Trading Card Game Simulator Shop. I can't say the title right, and I'm so sorry. Anyway, this is an early access game where you get to run a basically Pokemon stop. Mine's called The Fort. These aren't Pokemon, they're Tetramon, I swear. Although it is moddable. Since this is my first review, we're gonna go over what criteria I look for in an early access game and my grading system. So, I go by graphics, gameplay, the loop, music, long-term viability, and then you get extra points if you are moddable. The way the categories work, each category is out of 10. I will give you a score. As long as it's above 5, you're doing pretty good. If you get an average of 50% throughout all the categories, you're doing great. So, let's get started. For graphics, I've given the game a 5 out of 10. As you can see, it's a lot of stockholder and pretty generic stuff, although they did do some pretty good art on their personalized Pokemon cards. But the people, the shop, the decorations leave a lot to desire, and there's going to be a lot more in the future, hopefully, so they have a lot to improve. For gameplay, I'm giving this game an 8 out of 10. The mechanics are tight, they work. The only thing I wish is that they were more. Okay, so the ones that are there are really good. Once again, 8 out of 10. As for the actual loop of the game, the day-to-day, the game is incredibly addicting. Okay? You can, just lose time. It takes about an hour to go through a day. Time is rolling on the top left, and people walk into the store, they buy stuff, you can open packs. I'll show you what that looks like. So, you just, open it like this. You go through your cards. This one was worth $87. Dope, you guys are good luck. Anyway, so just this every day, and it never really gets boring. So it's getting a 9 out of 10 in that category. Just a great concept for a game. The lowest score on this list is music. The music is incredibly generic. The sound effects, while they serve their purpose, do not actually add anything to the game. In fact, I generally play with the sound off. In that case, it's getting a 4 out of 10. Once they get some more customized and unique sound effects, once they get some more voice lines in the background to make it feel a little bit more alive, we can revisit that score. Our last main category is viability. So this one is kind of unique to me. It's basically what I believe the percentage chance of it coming to completion will be. So, when we look at early access games, a lot of them fail, right? But all of them start out with some sort of promise. In this case, I'm giving this one a 70%. It has both an active community and is receiving active updates. Now, I give it a 70% because it just launched. Hasn't been that long, and so the excitement hasn't petered out. Aside from that, like I said, 7 out of 10 is really good for a early access game like this. And basically, with a game that's maybe a little older, what we would do is we'd kind of go through the forums, see how many guides there are, see if there's a lot of chatter, stuff like that. We don't really have to do it for this game because the modding community is already huge. I was able to, until a recent patch, have a fully Pokemon out shop. So much so that I felt like Nintendo was going to come after me. But sadly, it got broken with an update. Now, as I can see, there are communities building Pokemon mods. There are communities building Yu-Gi-Oh mods. And some Magic the Gathering. Now, as you can see, the way that works is you kind of go over here and they're just kind of playing a game. It doesn't really work necessarily with how Magic the Gathering plays, and you aren't kind of doing the whole pull mechanic like this. So this is not really what a Magic player would do. This is what a Pokemon player would do, or a collector. There's also Digimon, so if you're a 90s kid like me, you're probably going to like that. So the last category we have is the additional points for modability. I'm giving this one a 2 out of 3 extra points, just a little bit extra, and that brings us to a 32 out of 50. So just since this is my first review, An example of a 1 would be a game that can have some light cosmetic mods, but generally cannot either interact with Steam Workshop or is not able to do large amounts of changes. A 2 is a game like this where you can change quite a bit. It's got an active modded community that does a lot in a varied way. And then a 3 is a game you can completely overhaul. These are games like RimWorld and Skyrim that are so good at being modded that they become a completely different game as you want to. So, like I said, 2 out of 3 in that category. And overall, this game got a 32 out of 50. And that's a really good score for a game just out of the gate. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on it. And every kind of major update, we'll put out a new video and see if it improved in any of these categories. I hope you had a good time. If you have any thoughts on my scoring either way, or if you don't like my categories, let me know. I need to know how to do better if I'm going to improve. Once again, I'm Malthus, and I'll see you guys later.